everyone, thanks for joining me. Yes, it's been a while since I put up anything that was non-Expo related, but there's a lot of reviews I'm going to be churning through this weekend, like a ton. I'm going to be like basically camera set up and I'm just going to churn review after review after review and really try and get some content to you from games that I've had as review copies lately, but also stuff from the Expo that I really want to talk about. However, first things first. Recently, I put up a set of polls on my YouTube channel. I had to get some feedback from you guys, what it is that you like, what you don't like, how I'm doing, that kind of thing. I just needed the feedback, be it positive or negative. I needed the constructive criticism at times. I just needed to sort of see where I am and where I'm going. So I put up these polls and a lot of you have answered. Thank you very much you have. Granted, 150 to 350 votes ranging is different than 6,000 subscribers, but I know that's YouTube numbers for you. But, certainly the most active ones of you have voted on these polls, and I thank you for it. It's given me a lot of useful information. I just wanted to basically go over the results and talk about basically my feedback on them. What have I decided I'm going to do from now on, that kind of thing. I'm also going to put this on the podcast, not as a solo thing for the podcast. This will be like a segment on the podcast, but that's for those of you listening a little bit in the future. For now, though, I'm going to just go down one by one. They're on my phone here, that's why I keep looking down, and we'll see what we got. So first off, given my limited budget and forgiving occasional lighting mishaps, yep. Do you believe the visual quality to be perfectly adequate, decent enough, or subpar compared to other similar providers? Now, I use the word similar providers because, I'm sorry, look, I'm not a massive fan of the shut up and sit down lot, but they produce professional looking videos, but then they have the background, they have the tech, they have the resources to do that. I don't. So comparing me to them is kind of like, apples and oranges. But, a lot of the other sort of small fish content creators, who don't have all the resources handy and have to make do with their own pocket, that's kind of the level I'm trying to compare myself to. But 89% of you said perfectly adequate, 10% said decent enough, and only 1%, I'm wondering who that might be, said not subpar. So, granted, you think the visual quality is already really good. Great. It's a HD camera. I can't do 4K with this camera, unfortunately, but it's still a great vlogging camera. However, one thing I am experimenting with, this is a Canon 28mm, EF 28mm, 2 something aperture or whatever for you photography geeks out there. But I've just ordered a wide-angle lens. It's due to arrive in the next few days. I'm going to experiment with it, and hopefully, because I've got a tight space, this is as far back as the camera can go, and it's only across the width of this table, which a Gießen table, it's what, not 3 feet, but, like about a meter or something. I forget how wide it is. It's not that far away. And you can only just about see behind me, and I have to, not be too tall. I have to sit in a certain section so that this bit's free and that. So I'm thinking wide angle might help. You might be able to see the whole collection behind me and stuff like that. Granted, you might see a bit of the lighting as well, so I need to be a little bit careful. But like I say, if it's wide angle, it means I can have the camera literally here and then tinker with it. I can adjust it easier, that kind of thing. So you might see me suddenly switch to wide angle in the future, but we'll see. I'm going to do some tests first and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm glad you guys like the visual quality, because literally I don't know what else I could do apart from buy a 4K camera, and Patreon doesn't go that high, unfortunately. Okay, given my limited budget and forgiving occasional mishaps, do you believe the audio quality of the videos and podcasts to be perfectly adequate, decent enough, or subpar? 84% of you said perfectly adequate, 16% said decent enough, not one of you said subpar, or at least it says 0% here, it didn't even register. I'm surprised by this, actually, because I thought my audio could use a bit of an improvement. I thought I would be decent enough, but could be tinkered around with. Perfectly adequate, great. Granted, I apologise. Lately, my ability to handle the audio has been lacking, to say the least. I took a mediocre microphone to the convention, and it shows. And I messed up by not changing the camera settings microphone-wise down, so that once I got back from the expo, I recorded the review in sort of sounding like the teacher from Charlie Brown or something. It's all muffled and distorted, and I really didn't like it, but I had to put it out because you don't want to record 70 minutes worth of video again, as it hurts. So, aside from those mishaps, which I am going to do my best to stop doing, I promise you I'll stop doing, And also a comment that I had on here, which I found was quite interesting. Yes, I'll stop apologising for stuff that's happening outside because apparently it's not picking up on the microphone. You guys aren't hearing it. So I'm just going to let whatever happens out there just happen and trust you guys on that front. All right, I'll stop worrying about it. But yeah, I'm glad that a lot of you like the audio. I will try and improve. I mean, the Adobe Audition has a brilliant noise reduction, so it's quite handy. The Rode shotgun mic is literally here, right next to me. You see, I can literally move it into position there, and it means it's pointing directly at me. It's nice and close. I mean, literally, it's just out of shot. You probably can't see it. I don't know. I think I might have put it back into shot. There we go. I'll move it back a bit. But, you know, it's there. I'm getting good quality, and I am going to experiment with other microphones as well. Somebody keeps telling me to get a lavalier mic. I've never worked with them before. I don't know if they'll be any good, but maybe it could work for things like solo play. And I do have a few little microphones like, like this one, the Rode Video Micro, which is on a attachment that's currently going on my gimbal stabilizer because I think I have managed to find at least one way I can do solo plays with a handheld stabilizer and still record good audio. I think I found a way. The setup worked through testing the other night, and so that's all well and good. And I've even ordered a bit of kit that's arrived downstairs, I've got it already, like a sort of flex tilt mount, which means I might actually be able to use the smartphone in a different point, like a fixed point camera to record a game rather than having it on a stabilizer if you think that you don't want the whole rather run-through style. And of course, if you do want me to have the stabilizer, then, well, I can always put the DSLR on it and use that to record the game from the top down, or at least from a decent angle, because the last time I did it, I had to do it from there, and it didn't work. I wasn't a fan of it. Watch my solo plays of Coffee Roaster and that, you can see why. But with this mount, I might be able to literally have the camera like right above the game. Nice close-up so you can see what's going on. We'll see. Like I say, the solo plays are coming. I'm almost there, guys. Just bear with me. I cannot wait to get stuck into some of these solo game modes. I know you've been waiting, and in fact, more on that in a minute. Next question. Do you have any interest in convention video coverage? Now, there are people like Two Can Play That Game and a few others who really do specialise in convention footage and that. And fair play to them, they do a great job. I like to mainly leave it to them because they have their shtick, I have my shtick. I don't want to rain on anyone else's parade, but I asked if people were interested in convention footage because I took a little bit whilst I was at the expo this year, and I feel that with a stabiliser and a proper microphone in that, I could do better. However, this was a little bit more towards the no part. 38% said yes, 62% said no. So if I do any convention footage in the future, it may just be to film the convention as a whole and maybe just do a montage video of stuff I was doing and a few games I've seen in that. But maybe I won't bother so much with video interviews and stuff like that because it sounds like most of you guys are not that interested in it. And it's a lot of work to get those organised because you've got to go up to them, you've got to say, can you pose for this? Then you've got to talk, then you've got to hope it's decent quality. And believe me, people who go in groups of 2 and 3, they have people who would have earphones who can hear everything. I'm just me. It's difficult to coordinate everything by myself. So I'm less willing to do convention footage in that respect. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do some montage, just here's the show in action type footage. Or maybe I'll have my stabilizer and I'll just show off a few of the games I'm playing. Maybe I'll just restrict it to that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But it seems that you're not too fussed about convention footage. Okay. Do you prefer solo plays on board game apps and Steam or tabletop board games? Yeah, you guys have really told me on that one. 14% said board apps and Steam, and 86% of you said tabletop games. Yes, I know, I'm sorry. I promise you. I mean, I'm not going to stop doing the apps. I enjoy playing the apps. I can sit on my PC, put my headset on, record it, stick an intro and outro on it, and run it on the internet. It's an easy video for me to do. But, as the views have been seen on some of the recent ones, like Through the Ages and that, not a lot of you are watching them. So, you pretty much get what you pay for, I guess. But I know you want to see me play through stuff like this on solo mode. Believe me, I want to as well. I think it will be great fun. It will give me a chance to actually try out some of these solo modes because there's quite a fair few games here where I know a solo mode is present, but I've just never got round to playing it. I mean, Pursuit of Happiness. So that's the next one I want to do, actually. That's going to be the first solo play I do. This or Small Islands, maybe that one. But I've never played it solo. I've played it 2, 3, 4 player tons, but I've never played it solo. Crime, one of my favourite games ever, and I've never played it solo. So, you know, that kind of thing I want to do. So, yes, you have told me pretty firmly on this one, you know, that you want solo plays on tabletop games. They're coming, I promise. I know I've said that about 1 billion times in the last month, but we're almost there, guys, and I promise you it will be worth the wait. Are you at all interested in vlog-style videos? No special effects, just the handheld gimbal camera, maybe me holding the DSLR in front of me like you see other vloggers do. Less than 5 minutes tops, you know, really short videos, possibly even live, you know, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. I'm not sure if it's a feature on there. Instagram Live, I have no idea. I might need to do a bit of research. But, you know, stuff like that on random topics or news. And I was thinking, like, you know, I've heard something on the internet about a new game coming out. I might just talk about it rather than save it for a podcast. There might be like, oh, something's just irked me on a Facebook group. I need to talk about it. Or maybe I just want to do some more top 5 lists or something. Or maybe even top 3. Just to talk about more generalized top lists. Because my top 10s are designed to be ones that are mostly, for the most part, off the wall type lists, you know, not just generic top 10 deck builders, top 10 whatever. I know I did worker placement, but it's such a broad topic, I thought I had to cover that. You know, and I don't want to just do top 10 by Queen Games, top 10 by Asmodee, top 10 by Days of Wonder. Well, I want to talk about some of them, but maybe I can do them on the vlogs, you know, like top 5 Days of Wonder games, you know, nice and quick, 5 minutes, just quickly run through them, and maybe they'll be popular. Well, 56% of you said yes, 44% of you said no. So this was closer to a Brexit style vote. I brought that into it. But yeah, so some of you aren't too fast, some of you are interested in it. I think I am going to try this though, because the wide angle lens might help. I can put the microphone on the camera, which means I can have a decent recording. And as long as I can hold it steady, although the wide angle lens does have image stabilization, so that will help. Failing that, I'll just use my gimbal device, because if it works for solo play, I actually tried it out the other night, I can do it as a vlog star. Just 1 or 2 teething problems. But yeah, I might be able to just do it. I might be able to just stand in front of my collection in the other room. I might be able to just sit here with it facing me. Maybe I can showcase some of the shelves that you can't see in the shots, you know. I want to try it. I think the videos, I mean, if they're easy enough to do, and I don't have to do special effects or some really, really fancy intro to them, then I can pump them out nice and quick and just boost out a bit of content every now and again. So I'll look into that. You know, some of you are interested anyway. In terms of reviews, regardless of time length, would you prefer a single video per game, a compilation video for several games, or both work fine depending on the games being reviewed? Yeah, now I put this up because I'm getting a little bit tired of my detailed review format. I was all like, oh, I've got to have an anagram and I've got to do DETAI and talk about this. But after doing it for a bit, things have come to light. Firstly, it makes the reviews too long. If you spend too long on each letter, then my reviews are getting to 20 to 25 minutes. That's too long. People check out halfway through or skip bits. I need it to be short and succinct, you know, like Dice Tower length, you know, less than 10 minutes a piece ideally. But I wanted to also find out if you wanted more anthologies or more single reviews, because anthologies are great. They allow me to catch up with a heavy workload, but there's a problem from a personal blogging perspective. Publishers like to link to reviews, particularly if they're positive, obviously, but they're not as keen to link to reviews if they have lots of other games mixed in with it. They don't want to go through the effort of saying, oh yeah, check out the Broken Meeples video review on Valley of the Kings. It's number 2602 at this one, just above Energy Empire. It's like, they don't want that kind of effort. So what they prefer is to literally just go, oh, it's that one video, 5 minutes, Luke Hector's talk on Ticket to Ride London. So I'm thinking that I need to tone down the anthologies and put out more review videos. Now, of course, the last time I did that back in season 2, I nearly caused myself burnout. So there's a catch. The main thing is that the way I'm going to do it is that I'm going to have to simplify the format. So intro, outro, no anagram, detail will be gone. And I'll still throw in like video gags and movie gags references and pop culture references next. I like doing that. I find them amusing. But, you know, they won't have like loads of different transitions like the top 10s do, because they take a long time to do those transitions. And it will just be like a certain length, but we'll get onto that in a minute. But I'm going to crank out more single reviews. I will keep the anthologies, but I'm going to restrict the anthologies. So most of you, well, let me get on the stats first, actually. 36% of you said single video. 7% of you said a compilation, and 57 said both work fine. In that case, I'm kind of more siding with the both. I'm going to do more single videos though, because a lot of you are interested in that as well. Anthologies will not go because they do come in handy, not just for a heavy workload, but I'm going to use them primarily for the really small and really small games and expansions. So a titty little card game that I can explain in like 2 minutes. Ticket to Ride London, for example. Do I really need to do a full video on Ticket to Ride London? I could explain it in 2.5 minutes tops. It wouldn't be that difficult. And expansions, do expansions really deserve a whole video to themselves? I mean, I've got, Memoir 44 expansion. I've got the Mystic Vale expansion I'm collecting tomorrow. And it's like, how much can you really say about an expansion half the time? That warrants a whole video. So the anthologies will still stick around, but they'll be dedicated to those games. Stuff with a bit more meat to it will get its own video. And of course, anthologies might work for like games by Cosmos or something that I'm reviewing. But one thing you'll be pleased to know, maybe, I'm not sure many of you would care actually, but I like it, is that because I'm ditching the detail format, I'm also going to ditch the music for the detail one. And that intro, because the intro was alright, but at first I liked the music to it. I listen to it now, and every time I do a video of the detail review, it starts to grate me inside slowly, like a small drill, going into my forehead. Because it's like do 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 do. It starts off alright, but then as I was doing the transitions for it, it's like ding 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 ding. Oh my god! It's like, and I thought this sounds really cheesy. I feel like I'm on some like children's kids show or something, and like Sesame Street characters are gonna walk on. I don't know. So not a fan. So I'm scrapping that entire setup, and all my reviews, be it anthology or single reviews, will all be done with that cool comic book intro, with the like that sort of indie rock style music, and it just means I've got to change the wording so it doesn't always say anthologies. It'll say like reviews, for example, and then maybe the picture cover won't just be Sentinels in the Multiverse, it will be whatever game I'm reviewing or something. I'll figure out something, but ideally I want to use that intro because that's my favourite one of all the lot. I think it works great. I tweaked a template, basically. I wish I could take credit for it, but no, I found it online on Motion Array, and I tweaked the template, added some different lighting, and obviously changed all the pictures and everything, but it's a cool template, and I want to keep it, along with that music. And obviously I like the top 10 list one, so I'm keeping that. That will stay the same, and I like the solo play one as well, so that will be staying the same. So you'll essentially see 3 like major intro type videos, and then there'll be a separate one, like a small like 5-second one, very short intro, which will be for the vlogs, maybe random discussion topics, that kind of thing. Or maybe, like the vlogs. The vlogs will just have a small intro. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. It feels like a big change, but I think it will be a positive one. We've got 2 more left. What to say? Would you prefer the time length of singular reviews and games to be? Now, this is an important one. Up to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or anything over 15 minutes. 4% said up to 5 minutes. 45% said 10 minutes. 42% said 15, and 9% said over 15. Now, I was glad that not a lot of you said over 15, because I just think they're too long. 20 to 25 minutes to talk about a game, I feel like it's just dragging on too long. I've taken feedback from you guys. Some of you have said I drone on a bit because I do this ad-libbing style. Well, it's kind of inevitable. There's not a lot I can do about that because I don't script my videos. But, I want to try and keep them a little bit more concise. So over 15 minutes is not going to happen. Less than 5 minutes, though, I'm glad that barely any of you said that one, because frankly, that's too short. I mean, it's all right maybe for an anthology video where you're talking about an expansion or something, but 5 minutes, it's difficult to get enough information for it to be useful to you guys in 5 minutes. I know there's people out there that do it in 3 minutes and stuff like that, and it's just like, frankly, I might as well have just gone and researched it myself, because you can't give me enough information in 3 minutes. That's less time than you have for speed dating. Speed dating gives you 4 minutes, and you don't know jack about the person you're sitting opposite in speed dating. So how you think you're going to explain everything I need to know about a board game in 3? Ain't going to happen. It's, like I say, it's cool that you've got like quick videos and stuff, but it's just, when I see a lot, there's quite a few people out there that do this, and fair play to them. It's more content, people like it, go for it. Fair play to you guys, good luck. But for me, I want more info. So up to 10, up to 15, it was kind of an equal split from you guys, and I'm going to primarily stick with the up to 10-minute one. most of you voted for that by about 3%, but I'm going to try and stick to no more than 10 minutes per review video. Unless it's a pretty big bulky game, big heavy Euro, big mammoth Ameritrash game or something. If it's like that, then I'll make it up to 15 minutes, but there will be an absolute cap. 15 minutes per video, not including intro and outro, but only maximum 15 minutes of me talking. The absolute max. I'm going to stick true to that regardless. In the post-editing room, I will find a way. But ideally, I'll try to keep them to 10 minutes or less so that you guys can literally go, oh, he's got something to say about that game. I'll just quickly tune in, on my way home from commute or while I'm cooking dinner or something. 10 minutes, done, go, and you can get on with your day. You've enjoyed the video, hopefully, and they're not as long for me to edit. A 10-minute video doesn't take me anywhere near as long to edit as a 25-minute video. You'd be surprised how much it exponentially goes up in terms of time length to edit the longer the video is. It's why anthologies and top 10 lists are, oh my god, they take so much time to edit. But I like the anthologies and I love doing top 10s. That's not going to change. So the top 10s are my, right, this is the beefiest stuff I've got to edit. Get it down, get a routine, get it nice and good. But, reviews, I need to be able to chuck them out quicker. I need to be able to go, right, 10 minutes, record, edit, get the template, get that going there, edit, go. Not to compromise on quality, of course, but, I don't want to spend 2 hours editing a 10-minute review video because, ouch, that'll just hit burnout again. But finally, I just want to go over the last question. Which videos do you enjoy watching the most on the channel? Now, unfortunately, I can't set the poll to include multiple answers and that, which is a bit of a shame. So I know some of you commented that, oh, I wish I could vote for more. Well, sadly, YouTube is limiting on that. But here we go. Detail reviews, 28%. Top 10 list, 58%. This was kind of expected. Anthology reviews, only 9%. And solo plays, only 5%. Now, I'm hoping that the solo plays will improve when I move on to tabletop games, because only 5% of you saying that's your favourite, I feel that it's because I'm just doing the apps mainly. So when I move to tabletop, I hope that will increase and make them more worthwhile. But also, like I say, you can only vote on your favourite. So perhaps you like the solo plays, but you prefer other videos. I mean, that's kind of the way the figures go. Anthology reviews, some of you really like those. And like I say, I want to keep the format. I want to keep the intro and that. But doing anthologies will be specific games, not just loads of games. I mean, what was the last one I did? I talked about everything from Corinth, a titchy little roll and write that probably suits an anthology video, to U-Boot. Yeah, I think U-Boot could have warranted its own video, really. So, it's just a slight change of content. But yeah, 58% of you like the top 10 list the most. No surprise, when I watch the Dice Tower videos, I love the top 10 lists. They're my favourite video as well. I love doing top 10 lists. I love watching other people's top 10 lists, just to get a different perspective. Because it's games, I mean, some of you have commented on this, and I like the way you phrase it. It's games that you wouldn't necessarily have thought about. Everyone will go, oh yeah, I know these cool games, Ticket to Ride and Carcassonne and Terraforming Mars and, Gloomhaven or whatever, whatever's the hotness. But then I talk about 10 games and you go, oh, I never thought about that one. Okay, I'm going to look that up. And that's the sort of impression I want to give. That's the sort of games, that's what I want to get you to do. Think about games that you wouldn't otherwise consider. And detail reviews were 28%. So obviously some of you like just watching a review on a game. But I'm just sick and tired of that detail review format now. So bye-bye anagram. Merge it with the anthologies. Keep it condensed so it makes sense. It's easy for you guys to find. The thumbnails will be... Actually, yeah, the thumbnails are they're gonna stay the same. I will use the current one that I use for detail reviews for a single review. And I'll still use that anthology one, the 4 square things, for when I do those. It will just be the same intro and outro video. And yeah, otherwise the thumbnails will stay pretty much the same. So yeah, it's evident that you like the top 10 lists more and normal reviews. So of course I'm going to carry on doing them, but I will try to get more top 10 lists out. I will try to think of some more cool topics with the help of my Patreons. Anybody donating more than $5 or more on the Patreon basically gets to occasionally vote on what top 10s I do in a sequence. Once I've come up with some ideas, they can suggest ideas, and they're the ones who come up with the Patreon choices for when I finish my top 10, I talk about their particular choice and my feedback. So, they're gonna continue. So yeah, that's quite a few there. That is essentially the feedback from the polls. Hopefully the pictures turned out right there on the left, and like I say, those of you listening on the podcast, hopefully I explained it clearly enough to you. I just want to say again, thank you so much for answering those. It's been very useful information. I've had time to ponder it, think about what I'm going to do, think, all right, this is the sort of equipment I'm going to experiment with now. This is what they want. Because, I'm producing this channel for my enjoyment. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy, making videos and talking about board games. But it's a lot of work. It's quite draining at times. We hear about other content creators, hitting burnout and being stressed and anxiety problems. It does happen. Now, I don't suffer from anxiety problems myself. I don't think so. At least I haven't been diagnosed with one. But, I can stress. I go to the gym and I swim and I listen to relaxation music in the car and I play board games in general. That helps to relax me. I drink chamomile teas and things. I've come this close to even wanting to try meditation, but I've never really felt that's necessarily going to work for me. But, it's stuff like that. I de-stress myself at the best of times. But, yeah, this can be a stressful thing to do, especially when you feel like, I can't get on top of it and I've got to do this. Because you want free time for yourself. I've got to do work. I have full-time hour work to do, as well as this. You tell me that I can do this full-time, oh my god, you'll make me the happiest man in the world. But, yeah. Chartered accountancy pays the bills. This doesn't. Or at least this will probably never pay the bills. It can help self-fund itself. That's kind of what I would like it to do. But, yeah. Doing this part-time even, probably a pipe dream. Doing this full-time, it's never going to happen at this rate. And, just being able to keep it funded, for, self-funded would be a nice, achievement at the point. At the moment, it mostly comes out of my own pocket, even with the review copies and stuff. So, yeah, thanks for the polls. I've now got those ideas. Hopefully those ideas sound good to you. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is there anything you weren't a fan of? Anything you'd prefer me to keep in that? Granted, it's not like, unless there's a landslide of people disagreeing with something, then this is what I'm going with. This is the plan. But it'd be nice to just get your feedback as to what you think of the changes, good or bad, that sort of thing, because after all, as I said, I'm making this for my enjoyment, but it's also on behalf of you guys, because without you out there, the videos have no meaning, because it's no good me just doing a video where I'm talking to myself. No, I need to do this for you guys as well. So anyway, that's it for me. I better get started on a few reviews. Why not? The cameras and lights are all set up, and so far no technical hitches, and I even tested the microphone before I started recording this, so I know the video audio is working this time. Anyway, I got a lot of games to churn out, so let's get cracking. Back to work. Expos are done. Anything else I want to mention? Just maybe a quick note on conventions I'm doing. Obviously Essen later this year, but I've signed on to a few others, so I will be at HandyCon in August, so I hope to see you there. I've been invited up to Tabletop Scotland, so I will see you on that bank holiday weekend as well. I'm also going to Ting, is it called? This is not GridCon. This is Paul Grogan's sort of prequel to GridCon that he's doing in early July. I will be home for those 2 days as well, so I look forward to seeing you guys there. I am umming and ahhing. I don't know if I want to, don't know if I can, don't know if it's feasible or not yet, to go to a charity 24-hour gaming marathon that's taking place in July as well. I'm booking myself up quite a bit here. I need to leave some free time, but it's tempting. I can get there. It's not that far away from me. I can sleep over. The organisers seem very friendly. They've come up to me and asked if I want to turn up, and, it's very kind of them to ask. And I did do a 36-hour gaming marathon once before, and blimey, it was hard. You try playing TI3 in the last 6 hours of your 36-hour gaming marathon. Trust me, it's hard. But, I raised money for charity when I did that. This is, a good cause. They're running, I think it's at Tots for Bristol or Tots for Cots. I can't remember. It's a Bristol charity. And, that sort of thing I will support, regardless of whether I'm attending or not. But I'm in an hour. Do I want to go to the marathon or not? I don't know. Any of you guys out there going to that marathon? Then maybe you might be able to convince me to come along for definite, and then we'll play some games. These are like small, I just want to play some games. And other than that, after Essen, I can't think of, StabCon South, I go to those ones, but that's like a small fish thing. HandyCon after that will be in January. I'll go to that. I'll go to AirCon next year for definite. The Expo next year I've already booked the accommodation for. I would love to go to Dice Tower Con. I've just got to figure out some way to justify the expense and the time to go all the way to America, primarily for a convention. I mean, 2 weeks is hard to get off work. And, you know, in doing so, that means I do the con for some of it, but then I got to find something to entertain myself solo in Orlando. Yes, I know there's Disney World in that, but I'm by myself. You know, what do I do with transport logistics and all that? I don't know. I don't often travel abroad by myself unless it's for hiking holidays where I don't need a car. So it's something a bit new to me. But I could always go to Dice Tower Con for just a week, but then do I want to sit on a plane for 9 hours there and back just for a week? I don't know. Is Dice Tower Con that much fun? You tell me. You tell me in the comments. You know, it's something that I would very much like to try and do if it's cost effective and practical. You know, just to see the gang, to hang out at the Dice Tower, and to play games with some of you American fans out there, because I don't get to see you guys as often unless you come over to the Expo or Essen. It'd be nice for me to come to you. So, we'll see. Anyway, that's it for me. Time to crack on with some reviews. So take care. Thanks again for your feedback. Hope you're enjoying the videos. And, you know, here's to a bright future for this blog. Take care. And remember, it's only a game.